Picture this. You just finished a high-stakes presentation, dealt with a difficult client meeting, or wrapped up a stressful meeting. And where do you find yourself? Standing in front of your snack drawer or reaching for food that you weren't even hungry for. If you're tired of hearing just have more willpower or just eat mindfully when you're stressed, this video will show you what actually works to stop the stress eating, and it has nothing to do with discipline. If you're new here, I'm Jessica Lawson, and I intimately understand the stress eating cycle. As a former tech executive, stress eating was my constant companion, and during client emergencies, I turned to food. After challenging meetings, this pattern led me to gain 140 pounds in just 5 years while climbing the corporate ladder. You see, the more successful I became, the more I turned to food to manage my stress. And even after having bariatric surgery and losing the weight, I discovered something crucial. Surgery could change my stomach, but it could not fix my relationship with food or my stress response to food. Everything changed when I realized that stress eating isn't a willpower problem. It's a systematic stress response that requires a strategic solution. And today, as a certified nutrition coach, I now help high-achieving women just like me transform their relationship with food and stress using the exact framework that I created. So if you're ready to stop stress eating without relying on willpower, hit that subscribe button and notification bell, because I'll be sharing strategies specifically designed for successful women who want to break free from emotional eating while excelling in their careers. Let's talk about why traditional approaches to stress eating fail. Here's what's fascinating. Research shows that willpower actually decreases by up to 70% when we're under stress. This means that trying to use discipline to stop stress eating is like trying to put out a fire with gasoline. But here's where it gets really interesting for high achievers like us. The same drive and ambition that makes you successful in your career actually makes you vulnerable to stress eating. Why is that? Well, it's because you're dealing with higher stakes situations, more critical decisions, greater performance pressures, and constant mental demands. This creates what I call the high achiever stress cycle. You experience stress. You turn to food for quick relief. You feel guilty about stress eating, and that guilt creates more stress, leading to more eating. And traditional advice like just be more mindful or just have more willpower completely ignores the reality of what's happening in your brain and your body under stress. If you're nodding your head right now, if you've ever thought, I have incredible discipline in my career, why can't I control this? You're not alone. And more importantly, there's nothing wrong with you. Your stress eating isn't a character flaw. It's a stress response that needs a strategic solution. So let's dive into what's really happening in your body when stress triggers eating. And the biology is fascinating. When you're under stress, your body releases cortisol, which actually increases your cravings for high-calorie foods. It's not a lack of willpower, it's your body's survival mechanism at work. But as a high achiever, you face unique triggers. Those high-stakes presentations, urgent deadlines, and constant pressure to perform create what I call success stress. This isn't just everyday stress, it's the compound effect of performance pressure, leadership responsibilities, constant decision-making, and time constraint. And here's where willpower becomes a trap. The more you try to use discipline to control stress eating, the more you activate your stress response, creating a vicious cycle. Your cortisol levels rise, your cravings intensify, and your performance actually suffers. And the impact of stress eating goes far beyond the moments of eating. Let's talk about what this is really costing you professionally. First, there's the energy crash that follows stress eating. Your blood sugar spikes, then plummets right when you need to be at your sharpest. Your focus scatters, your decision-making becomes clouded, and your performance suffers. But the personal toll is even more significant. There's the constant emotional burden of feeling out of control with food, despite being so in control in your career, and the physical effects of stress eating, the energy crashes, the weight fluctuations, the digestive issues. This creates even more stress. And perhaps most frustrating is the recovery challenge. Each stress eating episode requires more energy to bounce back from, creating a cycle that becomes increasingly difficult to break. But here's the good news. There's a systematic solution that doesn't rely on willpower. Let me introduce you to how the Freedom Framework transforms your relationship with stress eating. We start with F. Foundation, creating a stress-proof nutrition base that stabilizes your blood sugar and energy levels. This is not about rigid meal plans. It's about strategic fueling that supports your high-performance lifestyle. Next, we focus on reconnecting with your body's signals. Stress often disconnects us from our true hunger and fullness cues, so we'll rebuild this connection using specific stress response protocols. The E in Freedom stands for empowerment, transforming your mindset around stress and food. Instead of seeing stress eating as a failure, we we create strategic responses that support your success. Then we establish sustainable habits that work even under pressure. This includes creating specific stress response protocols, optimizing your environment for success, building automatic stress management routines. We then focus on developing unshakable confidence under pressure. This means having clear strategies for high-stakes meetings, travel and client dinners, late-night work sessions, and unexpected challenges. The O stands for optimize, meaning that we match your nutrition to your peak performance needs. So we create what I call strategic stress buffers that protect your energy and focus. Lastly, we ensure maintenance through long-term resilience strategies. This includes stress pattern mapping, customized response protocols, environment optimization, and progress tracking systems. The key to success is measuring progress through reduced stress response to food, improved energy stability, enhanced recovery capacity, and sustainable habit formation. Now, this is not about perfect eating. Perfection is not realistic. It's about creating a sophisticated system that matches your professional excellence and works even under stress. Now, let me give you 3 specific steps that you can take right now to start transforming your relationship with stress eating. First, start with what I call stress pattern mapping. Notice when you turn to food under stress. Is it during specific types of meetings, after certain interactions, late at night when you're working against deadlines? Don't try to change anything yet. Just become aware of your patterns. Second, create what I call a stress first protocol. Before turning to food when stressed, take 30 seconds to ask yourself, what type of stress am I experiencing right now? This simple pause starts breaking the automatic stress eating response. And then third, begin optimizing your environment for success. Remove trigger foods from your workspace, create designated eating spaces away from your desk, and set up what I call stress relief stations with non-food stress management tools. And here's what you can expect timeline-wise. Within the first week, you'll start noticing your stress eating patterns. And by week 2, you'll begin developing new stress responses. And by week 3, you'll experience what I call stress resilience, where food is no longer your primary stress response. Now, watch for these success indicators. Increased awareness before stress eating. 2, more energy during stressful periods. 3, better recovery from high pressure situations. And 4, growing confidence in your stress management. Imagine walking into your next stressful meeting without food being your first thought. Imagine having clear, focused energy during high pressure situations. Imagine ending your workday feeling in control and confident, regardless of whatever stress is coming your way. You've already proven that you can handle immense pressure in your career. Now it's time to transform your relationship with stress eating using the same strategic thinking that makes you successful. So if you're ready to stop stress eating and start thriving under pressure, here's your next step. Book a food freedom strategy session with me. And during this session, we're going to map out your specific stress eating triggers, create your personalized stress eating plan, and then determine if my coaching program is the right fit for your transformation. But I want to be clear, this is not for everyone. I only work with women who are committed and ready to stop using food as a stress response and create real lasting change. So if you're ready to break free from stress eating for good, click the link below in the description to book your food freedom strategy session. And make sure to subscribe to this channel and hit the notification bell if you want more strategies specifically designed for high achieving women who want to stop stress eating and want to start thriving. Remember, you do not have to choose between success and freedom. You can have both.